What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Carlos Baerga Show, presented by FanDuel with me, Gab Gowdy, Cleveland Indians legend Carlos Baerga, always positive Jay, and we have Andre Knott with us today.
Yes.
Now, guys, last time I saw you, we were playing the Detroit Tigers. This week.
Well, you could say that happened like the whole month of September, Gabby. So
I do every single week we were playing the Tigers.
Right.
Then we were playing the Lions, playing the Pistons next. I mean, it never stops.
We saw them too much, guys.
I know. But I have to say that, and it was a great run.
Hell yeah.
What we did, it was very special. I'm very happy. That these kids have the experience to be in there, to do what they did. Coming back from July 7th through to get finish first. That's amazing. Yeah. That never happened before in the big leagues, and our young players takes what it takes. To play hard, to go and to go to extra inning. Got they had to be one of the worst time for a lot of these kids, but they did it. They did it.
They basically played the playoffs for a month and a half. And
Yeah,
to me, they ran out of gas, but I don't blame them.
Yes.
And this is just me.
No,
but what they did was tremendous. I agree with everything you said. I got to tell you, when I drove home the last night, Carlos, and I can say it to everybody.
Yes.
That was one of the first times I was like, Clase not being here hurt us.
Yeah.
Because the way you have to use your bullpen in the playoffs, you need one of your best arms. And there's only so many throws. It sucked. Because I feel like if you didn't play Detroit again, I think we would still be playing. I think we'd be playing right now, Carlos.
I think so. And I think, you know what, but you know what, no matter what, I think our fans, they need to be happy. Our front office, they need to be happy. And I asked Antonetti, I asked Harris, and I asked even Steven Bogart, I say, you guys have to be proud of what this team, they watching these kids playing. You got Capers, you got the louder center field. You have a young team in there playing in a playoff. Not too many teams have that opportunity when you see the lineups or everybody, PJ.
I mean, this whole season has been just a magical run from the start to the beginning. Like I said earlier, the team was never built. Like I said, they were going to have to climb up and get better. And you watch people like Bo Naylor change his batting stance and turn his season around. Like his end of the season, September, I don't even remember what the stats are, 300-something batting average. You watch Rocchio go down, him come back up, change positions, get better at the plate. Like, just the growth of the team and bringing up all these young guys in the playoffs, like DeLauder getting a little bit, Valera looking like young Manny Ramirez from the left side. Like, I'm really excited, but at the same time, it did show that we are close, but we need to make a move. And everyone says every single year, like, oh, they're not going to spend money. They're not going to spend money. They're not going to, like, why not? Why not us? Why not one time just make a splash, Andre?
Well, money plays into it. You always need money. Money helps in any situation, but money doesn't answer everything. To me, you can make a great trade.
Yes. Well, that's a splash.
That's thing. I think, I won't say who, but a GM told me a long time ago, the teams that win the offseason lose in the regular season. And I know that it's sexy. It's good for shows like this. But, just make the right trade. And then you start looking at, what do you have? Like, to me, all this great young pitching, it's awesome that they restocked the starting pitching. So, and I don't know anything. These are just names coming off my head. Everybody can do their own. Logan Allen probably, who I like, probably is a guy that they can see as expendable, right?
What a year.
He's a guy that you could go out and sell and say, hey, he can give you 150-plus innings. He can start, blah, blah, blah. But he's probably not one of our top 5-6 starters. No offense to him. Put him out there, you throw in one of those prospects. Does that give me a right-handed hitter, outfielder that can give us 20 home runs, steal bases? That's, to me, the splash that has to happen. The right veteran who hits right-handed.
Gabby, what do you think?
About trading Logan Allen? Or
No. Don't y'all be tweeting out, Andre said, tweet Logan Allen. I just use that as an example.
No, I personally think that they might have overachieved at the end of the season. I don't know if you guys feel that way. I think that they're a very sound group of pitchers, of course. Hitting could obviously make some improvements. Did they overachieve? I kind of see it how the Tigers went into the end of the season last year. Everyone thought, oh, they wouldn't be here in this moment, but then they took their opportunity, got their playoff push, did it, and now you see them right now, and they're still struggling with those same things that we knew to be true that they had issues with last season. So maybe they might have overachieved a little bit, but they know their weaknesses, and if they want to get past the point that we were this season, they know what to do to improve on it.
I am with you with that. But you know what? Yesterday was a press conference in the ballpark, and Chris Antonetti and Steven Bogart manager was together. Let's listen up to this.
To do, which is to win a World Series. So inevitably, there is some level of disappointment. But once we're able to get past that, I do think there's a lot to be proud of. The way we were able to battle back from a historic deficit to come together to win the American League Central is an extraordinary accomplishment. Now, our focus is how do we build from here? Because the end goal is to try to win a World Series, and that's what we'll continue to be focused on.
I think it starts with just our overall mindset and growth and work. We have to work. You know, we've spoke with a number of our players. This is a big off season. We have to make strides in the weight room. We have to make gains, and we have to continue to work on our skill to individually get better so that we can come together as a team and win more ball games. And we got in, and that's the number one goal. That's the first check mark towards our goal to win a World Series. I couldn't be more proud of the work that we did as a group and the growth of a lot of our players, and we just have to continue to do those things. And like I said, we're close, but we're not there yet. And we're working really hard to find those margins that we can continue to grow and get better.
We know the success that we're going to have organizationally and the success we've had is largely based upon the group of guys that are here. And what we want to make sure that we do, as voters said, is to help the group. It's a really young group, but it has a lot of potential. We want to help them take that next step to grow and develop. But we'll also look for opportunities to add to that group. And one of the things we'll have to balance is how do we balance any external additions with providing opportunities for young players that we think have a really exciting future.
Andre, you was there.
Yeah.
I wasn't in the press conference. I wasn't there. I was in Houston. I was flying back to Cleveland. So tell me what you thought about
The biggest thing that was said, and I give Stephen Vogt credit for this, is he came out and he said, I don't care about winning the AL Central. He's like, that's fine. That's great. But that's not what we're here for.
Yeah.
He's like, it's got to be a bigger goal than that.
Wow.
And I appreciate that part of it because I think sometimes everybody can get comfortable. Hey, we won our division. Well, that's great, but that's not what you go to spring training for.
No.
The other thing is that they talked about, and I think Manzardo is one of the guys he kind of pointed out. And Rocchio, I think, all right, Rocchio told them.
Yeah.
And I love this. And I'm glad that and I'll put it out there. Rocchio told me at the end of the season he was pissed off. He wasn't happy that he got sent down. He wasn't happy that he had to play second. But he made that a better player.
Yes.
And he said, I've got to find a way to play pissed off, mad, whatever you want to use.
He channeled it right correctly.
Because he was like, you know what? I didn't like what happened.
Yes.
But at the same time, it made him grow up.
Yes.
Because the one thing about Rocchio that I love is Rocchio is great if you don't put the stats on the Jumbotron.
Yes.
If you just say, go win today,
Yes.
Rocchio is one of your best players.
He give you everything.
He's got to find a way to do that from March, or April until October.
Yes.
So I think they found a way to push him. And I think the Manzardo part, where you heard Vogt talk about weightlifting,
Yes.
I asked him what he thought of Manzardo hitting behind Jose.
Yeah.
And he said for the first 3.5, 4 months, he thought he was great. He said, but it felt like he ran out of steam.
He got tired. Yeah.
You've had over 200 hits.
Yes.
I don't think people realize once you get to about mid-August, most of these guys have no legs left. And they told his shoulders are done. And they told a lot of these young players it was great, but you guys all ran out of gas.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way they call it the dog days of the summer.
Dog days are real, but that's why what they did in September was unbelievable.
Yes.
But
was.
and I think Gabby makes a good point. You look at Detroit. Detroit looks like they're out of gas.
Yes.
It's hard, and that's why you need as many good players as you can have.
I mean, and during the off season, how much better can you actually get, Carlos? Because I know you guys in the '90s busted your asses and worked hard at everything, and you'll hear from our guest, and he mentions it. Like, how much more improvement can you get from that?
You can do it, man. And something that we cannot forget about, two of our veteran players that was key for the winning to beat Detroit last year, Fry and Lane Thomas, they both got hurt.
Yeah.
So we don't have that experience in this team right here. We went to the playoff in there. So I think we need to bring another guy, another right-hander hitter, because let me let you know by numbers. Lefty, we hit 224 against lefty. We finished 28 in the league. 224 against lefties. And our center field,
No
against
brainer.
lefty, 199. Our right field against lefty, 202. So we need to improve on that to get better, and we need to find somebody, a veteran player, that can help us out. They hit from the right side, they can help us out, because it's gonna be the time. Because when you have here Kefus, the Lotus, we got Valera, we got Manzardo, Nolan Jones,
All left.
and Guam, 6 lefty. We need a righty.
Yes.
We need a righty. I know we got Joel, We got Jonathan Rodriguez, but we need a righty with experience. They can help us out in that lineup.
So what is David Fry? They've said David Fry is coming back as a catcher. That's what he's a catcher. So David Fry most likely sounds like will be the backup catcher. And I'm just
wow, it's gonna be tough.
You just said we missed him.
Yeah,
and like I want to say this the right way. I don't know how good or bad he is. I'm not playing that game.
Yeah,
but he hasn't really played a full season yet. He's a great locker room guy.
Yes,
you need more than just David Fry. Is all I would say. But just know they're saying he's coming back as a backup catcher and as a guy that'll probably DH against lefties or whatever else.
Well, I could see possibly coming available, and Jack from the Big Factor show brought it up, is Adley Rutschman, the catcher from Baltimore.
Because they have the young catcher?
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to move him
for that.
You can might get him a little cheaper on the off.
I don't think they're going to do it.
You don't think Baltimore's going to keep both of them?
Yeah, I mean, he could DH if they needed him to at that point. I really don't see them getting rid of him, but who's to say?
Well, okay. No. I think Gabby makes a good point. How is it like in any trade? You got to sweeten the. How did Carlos Baerga end up in Cleveland? They gave up Joe Carter. They gave up a great player.
Joe Carter, that's what happened.
I hear you, Gabby, but what if you put? See, I can't put names on it because people will run with it.
Okay.
What if you put one of our great left-handed young guys in a trade and a pitcher? Because Gabby, I'm with you. I think it would take a lot to get Adley Rutschman, but
of course. Do we trade a lot ever? No, probably not.
Yeah. But I think we're at that point, and this is. I think
we need proven talent right now.
Yes, we have to make a trade. We have to bring in my opinion, you got to bring in. You have to make a trade and bring in what you need and not guess.
It is
right. Now, guys, I do agree with you, and we could keep talking about the Adley Rutschman trade because that'd be a great improvement to this team for sure. But we're going to take a quick break. We have a crazy guest coming up for you guys.
Yes.
We'll be back. Today's featured interview is brought to you by Smart Choice Windows. Smart Choice Windows is the place to go when you need to upgrade your home. They have great deals and great financing with 0% for 24 months and no down payment option with monthly payments as low as $199. So if you're ready for a quieter, more energy efficient window, head over to smartchoicewindows.com to schedule your free no pressure estimate today.
Gabby, I said to you that I have a special person with me today. What a special person. No, Baerga. This is your teammate. This is your brother. This is the guy that when he came up, he put some numbers that I still believe he's going to be a Hall of Famer. This guy, 5-time All-Star, 5-time Silver Slugger. The only player in Major League Baseball with 50-50, 50 doubles, 50 homers in 144 games. My brother, Albert Belle in the house. How you doing, Albert?
I'm doing pretty good. How you guys doing?
We're doing good. Albert, I know that you watch the game. These guys is always, we have a chat. Myself, Kenny, and me, and him, we fight more than what we talk. That's what we do all the time. We have fun together. But Albert, tell me about, I remember the first time that I saw Albert was in spring training. When we was in spring training, our club was already made, and they bring Albert to play with us a couple games. And this guy started hitting balls way out, and strong. And I said, what's going on with this guy? This guy going to be with us pretty soon. The soon that he got to the big leagues, this guy was a special guy. Albert, tell me about what you went through in the minor leagues, and when you got to the big leagues, what helped you out to stay here for a long time?
You know what? Down in the minor leagues, I remember those days in Tucson, and I remember we had to be out on the field at 8 a.m. And, we were working on defense. I kind of got pigeonholed where they thought I could just hit and be a DH and not play position. But, we would get there early. I would do a lot of early work, working on my defense. And, it was pretty much from 8 a.m., you play practice and play all the way through lunch. And then even after the games, spring training games, we did work after practice. So, there was a time where you work on the fundamentals of the game, base running, defense, offense. And, I took great pride and I didn't want to just be a one-dimensional player. I knew if the team was going to be successful, I had to be a multi-dimensional player. And, obviously with Kenny Lofton, playing center field, with the amazing catches and the glory and stuff. But I thought I held down a pretty good left field, had a lot of assists, made a few sliding catches. I didn't like to dive. I like to slide.
I still remember. Guys, I want to let you guys know what he want to do. Albert Belle started throw from left field to first base. And we start yelling at him, what you doing? Throw me the ball to the cutoff. And he say, And he come up to the bench, and my high girl said, "What you doing, brother? You cannot be doing that." And he said, "I'm gonna be the first player throwing out somebody from left field to first base." And I said, "This guy was crazy, Andre. Did you see anything like that?"
Well, I'm glad he brought that up about playing defense on that wall because we've given a lot of credit to Stephen Kwan.
Yes, he won.
And really, when you go through that ballpark, and I'm not saying it because he's here, but between Kwan, Brantley, and Albert, those are probably the three that defended that wall so well. Let me ask you this, though, Albert. When you talk about coming up from the minors, when did you learn how to read pitchers and become – let me ask you this way. How important were hitting coaches, and how much were you your own hitting coach as you went along?
Growing up, I mean, coming through the system, we had some great hitting instructors, Jose Ramirez, Charlie Manuel, and we were able to sit down and just go over, what the pitcher was trying to do. Pitchers in those days, they loved to establish the fastball. And whether it was, inside, outside, up or down, the main goal was success story was you always had to be ready to hit the fastball. And then once you have success hitting the fastball, they're going to start throwing the off-speed stuff, and then you just go through this cycle. And you could just see, at bat by at bat, depends on if runners are on, you have to constantly make adjustments. And I took pride in, I watched a lot of videos of these pitchers, and I kind of knew what they were going to do, before they were going to do it. And so that's how I had a lot of success. But it was also a great thing when you had Carlos and Kenny and Omar on base, because I knew exactly how they were going to attack me. And then when you have protection behind you in the lineup with Eddie Murray and Tommy and Manny, so I was just basically, eating steak and lobster every day because these guys were on base and I had the protection, and I was able to drive in a lot of runs. And because, I was big and strong, hit home runs, but we took great pride in putting the ball in play and executing. And we knew exactly what everybody was going to be doing in that lineup in every situation. And I noticed, guys today like to look at the iPads and stuff like this. We were focused on watching the pitcher out on the mound to see what he was doing. The scoreboard and the guy on the mound was going to dictate the sequence of pitches he was going to throw to you. And that's how we had success.
You brought up a great point on how you had protection in your lineup. And this offseason is going to be really important for our team right now. How good could Jose Ramirez be if he had someone that could truly protect him in the lineup?
Like you.
Well, he had somebody in the lineup last year. He had Naylor behind him, and you finally found a guy that came through with a breakout year, career high in homers and RBIs. He hit pretty close to 300, so. That was that power you were looking for. And I was like, wow, Naylor came into his own. He's going to be that guy in a cleanup spot behind Ramirez, and Ramirez is going to have a great year. But unfortunately, they traded him, and Santana didn't quite have the season that everybody was expecting, and then it just kind of snowballed, and basically Jose Ramirez was just kind of left out to dry. But he did have a great season, based on not having any protection. But I see this kid, Noel. I saw him all spring training. They were playing him every day, and he had a pretty good spring training. And then right before they broke camp, they traded for Nolan Jones, and they put Nolan Jones out in right field. And then that just kind of left Noel, outside looking in. And then he just had a bad start. They sent him down. And he just pretty much had a bad season. He came up and, had a few big hits here and there. But for the most part, I think he finished up the year hitting like 140. And that kid is too big and too strong to be hitting 140. And for somebody not to be working with this guy on becoming a great all-around hitter, because I think he can, just given the right situation.
Are you available by any chance to help him out?
But you know what? But not to go off of that, though, like, I hate that they pigeonhole, and I'm not, look, baseball's baseball, but you can't, and you guys played.
Yeah.
But when you pigeonhole a guy and say he can only hit lefties when he doesn't even have 200 at bats, that's not fair. I don't think to the hitters, because you need to see the pitch. You need to have some at bats. And when you're a righty, a big righty, how many lefties has he really seen his whole life?
Not too many. And the thing is, it's tough to be waiting for a lefty to come in, and maybe you have to wait 3 days, 4 days. It's hard, man.
Right.
You facing this is the big leagues. This is not the A ball. This is not double A, triple A. When you see somebody having a success playing like that means you have to go like this to that player.
Absolutely.
But I want to bring something to Albert, and before we start talking about 1994, 95, Albert, you was a player that for you was happy if you don't hit 300. Out of the 10 years that you play, you have 7 years over 295. Over 295, 10 years, 5 years over 300. 1 year, 357. That's what I saw here. When I see these numbers.
You played with it. You got to look at the numbers.
I know, because I know Albert, and this guy write down every at-bat, every pitch that guy throw to him. He got books in his locker that nobody can touch it. Me and Kenny, we try to go in there, and he want to kill us in there. And you know what? And this guy spent so many hours before every game in the cage. How important it was for you to hit 300 and get 100 RBIs?
You know what? Hitting 300 was the success story of being in the big leagues as a hitter. At first, you want to make the team, when you're young and you make the team, and then you want to play every day. Mm-hmm. And, when you play 162 games, I know I'm going to get a lot of at-bats. I know I'm going to be in left field. Every now and then I get a chance to DH. And once that was solidified, now it's time to take my game to the next level. And if you look at my stats in the early, the early 90s, I was, sub 300. But then as you gain more experience and you gain more confidence and you gain more knowledge of all these different pitchers, and then once we moved into the new stadium, and then obviously you like, wow, like there's a lot of people out there. There's like 47,000 fans. Like, this is pretty exciting. And you get that extra adrenaline, and then you hit 300. And I know in 94, it was a short season, but I had a chance to win the batting title.
Yes. The
last day of the season, we were in Toronto. I think Paul O'Neill got 2 hits that day, and I got 1 hit. And then we went on strike the next day, and so he ended up winning the batting title. I think he hit 359. Wow. And but that was where I was pretty much locked in. But like you said, when I came up, you guys were on base.
Yeah.
Right. And then Eddie Murray was having an unbelievable season. And I saw Eddie Murray every day. And I mean, he was so excited, to be rejuvenated. He was in his mid to late 30s, and he was just excited to be a part of the situation. And I watched Eddie Murray work on hitting. And, he was the quiet type, but he would go about his business. He put in his work. And then I remember, he was the main guy that was yelling at the people to get away from the batting cage. And he would tell everybody, he's like, this is the most important time of the day for us to get ready for the game. And, he would get everybody from around the cage. And I was like, oh, sweet. That'd save me a lot of yelling at some people. But and that's what we were. We were focused on hitting.
Yes.
And that's what we wanted to do. It's like, Kenny Lofton was not trying to hit home runs. There was a couple situations where, he said he was feeling good and, maybe get a 2-0, 3-1 count and he hit some home runs. But, when the game was on the line, we know he was going to put the ball in play and he was going to either beat it out, get a base hit, he's going to steal. And Omar and Carlos were going to get him over, get him in. And then, if they weren't, successful, then I had a chance to. So, it was a great situation to be in, and we just worked hard at it, and we really love coming to the park every day, and we really love to put the work in.
I know you watch. I know he watches the games. But did you watch last night the Judge home run? I'm curious.
You know what's funny? When Toronto went up 6-1, And I was like, okay, Bieber has this in the bag.
Right.
Bieber should be able to pitch 5 innings
He pulled him too
and
early.
get an easy win. And the Yankees are toast, and they just look, down and out. And I just went and started doing something else. And I was watching the show, and I came back because I was like, well, it's the Yankees. They can't ever play a game under 3 hours. So let me turn on the game and see what's going on. And soon enough, and the Yankees were up 9-6. I guess Judge had hit a home run, so I had to, turn on the other channels and watch the highlights. And so you have to give them credit. I thought they were ready to roll over, but they battled back. And it's weird. You see these games and everybody's panicking like after the second inning, and you got 6, 7, 8 pitches a game, and it's just scary. Like I remember when we were in the playoffs, it's like, okay, he's gonna go 6 innings, and then let's kind of see what happens after that. But not today. Everybody has the quick hook, and
and that's gonna hurt him.
And it's gonna hurt you because you have to have some pitchers that's gonna go 6 innings.
And you guys know this, and I'm just like, what Toronto did yesterday by pulling Bieber when they did.
Yes.
Now now the Yankees have seen all their bullpen guys,
Yes.
and now they got a bullpen game today.
Yes.
And the good hitters are like, okay, go ahead and give me the, because the reason I asked you that, Albert and Carlos, last night he hits 100-mile-per-hour fastball inside. Now he had missed one, and it was at the same level.
Yes.
So then he fouled it off. So they came back with it inside.
Yes.
Well, he wasn't afraid of it because that's all the guy had was 100 miles an hour. So he pulls it.
Well, that's what I.
And the same thing happened to us. We put all these bullpen
I got
guys.
something right here. That's why I watch every show every day to talk about. I have a show every night, and I talk about when I check. Do you know the Judge is been since the last 5 years? He's been the best hitter with fastball inside.
Yes.
Number 1 in baseball. So where is the analytics? Where is the meeting before
I don't
the
need
game?
analytics. I'm not throwing him a fastball inside.
But that's what I'm talking about. If you believe in that,
Albert's foot.
follow that. How you gonna pitch inside to him when he's number 1 in baseball for the last 5 years? Albert, what do you think about that?
Well, here's the thing. Okay, you can't just Judge is too great of a hitter where you just can't live away because he's going to just pop it up to the short
true.
to the short porch.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: like if you're going to come inside with a fastball for a strike, I'd feel more comfortable if it was with 2 strikes. He's 0-2, 1-2. Then I want to cut. Well, not 0-2, but 1-2, 2-2. Yes, fastball in, but not, when he's ahead 2-0, 3-1, 3-0, I certainly don't want to throw him a fastball for a strike inside.
Albert, we're going to go in 1 minute, and we come back with you, okay?
Okay.
Stay here with us in the Carlos Baerga Show.
This segment was also brought to you by Smart Choice Baths. If your bathroom needs an update, the team at Smart Choice Baths has you covered. Whether you're looking to replace your shower or do a whole bathroom remodel, Smart Choice can offer the quality and expertise you will need to make that experience an enjoyable one. Be sure to check them out at smartchoicebaths.com or give them a call at 1-844-GET-SMART to set up your free estimate.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Lake Spur Marketing, connecting your brand to the right customers. Visit lakespurmarketing.com today.
He's all over. Did you in the sky or you went down already?
I'm coming down now, but I'm good.
Albert, man, talk to us about 1994, 1995, the magic. Talk to us because I had to say, what this team did this year, coming back from July 7, we was 15.5 games back and come back and finish first. I know it was special. It was a story that never happened before, but everybody compared that moment to the moment that we have in 1995, and it's special to talk to us about the team that we have in 1995, brother.
Well, you know what? Going back to this year with the Guardians, I remember Cleveland was in Toronto, and they drilled Vlad Jr. twice.
It's true. I don't even know that.
Yeah, because that was when Jose too.
Wow.
And Toronto got mad, and they retaliated, and that's when they hit Jose Ramirez. And so the Guardians went into a tailspin. I think they lost 10 in a row. Ramirez was like 0 for 21. And then that's when the Blue Jays caught fire and took over first place. They've been hot ever since then.
Wow.
so I remember that, and then later on, I think when the Guardians released Carlos Santana, I think that's when they caught fire, and then that's when they caught Detroit. So little things that you don't really think will have a big effect on you, during the season can have a big effect on you.
It's true. But talk to us about that 1995 years. The teams that we had together. What we went through, the magic year, 100 wins and 42 games lost. How special was that team?
That was special, and you know what? We were upset because we were a game behind the White Sox in 1994, and we were upset that we didn't get a chance to finish. And we knew we were going to catch them, and we knew we were going to go into the playoffs and probably have a good run. Like, our confidence was sky high, and the good thing is we got a chance to play most of the games in '95, and we just basically steamrolled these teams. We were like. Everybody thought we were doing something different at home. We were like, no, we got to sell out crowds. Like, our confidence was sky high. And remember the times when, like, you were beating our brains out when we lost 100 games? Yeah. It's like, now it's our turn. We're not going to let up on you. And I remember Hargrove would come up to me, and I'm like, nope, I don't want to come out the game. I was like, no, we're going to run the score up on them. That's what, they ran the score up on us. And he's like, okay, let's do it. And so teams got upset at us, and we were like, well, nobody rolled over for us when we were getting our brains beat out. So, but it was great to play in front of a sellout crowd. And then all of a sudden, the pitching caught fire. We had a phenomenal pitching staff. Obviously, they were overshadowed by, the great hitting teams. But, we had the magical late inning wins. The team never gave up. We saw everybody's best relievers. We saw everybody's best starters, and we had a lot of success.
I feel like the walk-off started with you guys.
Yes.
Like all the celebrations and everything. Like I can think of the Angels closer just as a kid growing up here.
Yeah.
You guys made us watch to the very end because somebody would walk off the closer.
Yeah.
And these are like was it Troy Percival?
Oh.
Y'all made his life hell.
Troy Percival.
Doug Jones, or not Doug Jones, Todd Jones with Detroit.
Yes.
Like I can go through all those guys. Were you guys you never thought you were out of a game, did you?
No, we didn't. I mean, that's the confidence that we had that we didn't have when we lost 100 games. Because when we lost 100 games and we were losing, we were like, man, like, God, we're going to lose another game. But now, in the 90s, with a little bit more experience, it's like, okay, like, we're not going to give up. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to battle. And we had some success. And but it came because we were able to put the ball in play and put pressure on the opposing team's defense. And next thing you know, there might be an error, there might be a bloop somewhere, and then the next thing you know, boom, there's like a game-winning home run and out of nowhere. But that's, we were able to strike, fast and quick and win these games from behind.
Now, when you just said how you remembered out of those teams when they were beating on you and you wanted your revenge, and it was like a different mindset, I feel like, back in the day for you guys, all the players across the league. And it seems a little, lack of better words, like the little softer league with the rule changes, with sliding and not being able to go to catchers. What do you think about all these new rule changes they got?
Well, you know what? The game has changed. Obviously the game was different in the 90s compared to the 60s. And, I think the game has changed a lot because the fans are more aware of like all these little intricate things that are happening now. Like back in the 90s, like nobody cared about exit velocity. Nobody cared about launch angle. They just wanted the Cleveland Indians. Yes, they won. Boop, they won 100 games. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to go to the World Series. But now the way the game is set up, there's, scrutiny on the umpires. They have the box. They have all these little things going on. And,
you kind of slide hard in second base, Albert. You remember the way you slide? Rap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fernando Villa style.
Yeah. I have to tell you the story. I got hit one time in Toronto. David Wells hit me. We had hit somebody. David Wells hit me, right?
Yeah.
And I was mad because I was like, well, Manny and Tommy's behind me. Maybe he's going to hit them. But we had hit one of their big guys. So I get to first, right? And ground ball. So Roberto knows I'm coming in hard. He was at second base. I go in hard, take him out, right? And so pretty much break up the double play. Next thing you know, they hit a ground ball. So now he's standing behind the bag, right? And he does his submarine where he was going to try to like submarine the ball to first base. And I veered all the way out into right field. I was like, there's no way he's going to submarine and hit me upside the head. And but that's, he was mad, but that's how we played the game. Like as soon as I saw him submarine, I was like, yeah, I don't want any part of this. And I just veered off to the right, and they completed the double play. But that's how we played the game. We played hard. And me and Roberto, we were friends. Every time I get to second base, we talk and share stories about pitchers and stuff. And but when it came to the nitty gritty, like we were bitter enemies. But that's how the game was played. And now I get it. I get it with the amount of money that these guys can make. And it's
they get hurt no matter what.
Nobody
they get hurt more now than we used to be before.
Nobody wants to play through an injury, and the word that I've seen this year is discomfort. Like,
we all got discomfort.
Yeah, I was like, we played every day with a discomfort, but we didn't want a day off, and it's like you can't play through with a elbow discomfort, you can't play through with a quad discomfort.
It's headache.
Like, everybody's with discomfort, and it's like, one guy who was it this year? Somebody slipped in the shower and fell and couldn't play. And I was
here's
like,
the one. What was the one Trout had this year? Didn't he get a skin infection?
Something like that, man. It's so many things.
Was that Trout? I think Trout got
I played without
infection.
Albert. You remember when I played without T from the third inning on, and then I got two root canals that night in the hospital, and I played the next day.
Yeah,
I play softball for nothing, and I tried to play when I got hit in the mouth.
Yeah.
My lip was stuck in my teeth, and they're like, "You got to go." I'm like, "No, I want to keep playing. I want to win." But you got the famous story with Fernando Vina. We got to talk about it because Cleveland absolutely loves it. Every time I think of it, I can't help but think of the movie Happy Gilmore, and they're like, "You hit that guy. Like, you shouldn't have been standing there."
Yeah.
Why? Because I know the backstory, but for the viewers that don't know the backstory of that whole day and why you did what you did, and frankly, I'm glad you did.
Eddie Murray. I think I walked at bat. Eddie Murray hits a routine ground ball to second, and he catches the ball and he has time to complete the double play, and there was no way I was going to get to second base to take out the shortstop coming across. And he surprises me and he stands up and he pops up in the line and he tags me, and I was like, okay, don't do that again. Like, don't do that again. And he's like, oh yeah. You're like, what are you going to do about it? I said, just don't do it again. And sure as hell, the next at bat, Eddie Murray hits that same ground ball, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna plow him over." and he comes in the baseline, and I knock him over, and I was like, "I told you not to get. I told you not to do it."
You look like a linebacker for the Vikings when you took him out to you.
And so he was chirping. I said, "I'll be in the weight room after the game if you want to chirp, right?"
That's the way we used to play, bro. The people need to know that. But I have a question for you.
But you notice? Did you notice one thing?
Yeah.
The manager didn't get mad. That was Phil Garner.
I know.
He didn't get mad.
Nope.
No trainers ran out on the field.
Nobody.
I wouldn't either.
Nobody made a big stink about it.
Yeah.
And then when I came up the next at bat, they drilled me.
Yeah.
And then when Matheny came up the following at bat, Julian Tavares was supposed to drill him, but he just wound up, and I don't know where he was going to throw it, but he threw it over his head behind him, and then that's when we brawled, and we had a brawl fight, and that was it.
See, I would just intentionally walk you and hit the
ourselves.
guy behind you. I would not be messing with
No,
that.
but that's what they're explaining. That's not how it worked then.
Oh, I know.
The way it worked, and I'm glad you guys are explaining this.
Yeah.
Everybody knew what was happening.
Yes.
I'm going to hit your big guy. You're going to hit my big guy.
Yeah.
And you move on. And no umpires get involved. Nobody gets involved.
Nobody.
That's how it should be.
That's what I say. I don't understand this Barbie. This is a Barbie.
Yeah.
This is a Barbie game right now.
Yes.
I don't understand that we have to be respected. Look at what Albert say about what happened to us this year when they hit Jose Ramirez.
Vlad
stuff
Jr.
like that, and everything changed. We got together as a team. Sometimes things like that make you think, get together fight for each other, stuff like that, and it changed a year of a thing like that. Albert, but I have to ask you a question. You wasn't with us, you was with Baltimore, but I don't know what happened. You got hit by a pitch, and you don't want to go to first base. What happened?
I was going to ask
what happened about that? Talk to us about that.
Well, you know what? I had already hit 3 home runs that day.
No.
And
It's a typical day for Albert.
What's that?
A typical day for you, just 3 home runs, no biggie.
And it was against the Angels, and Hasengawa comes in the game. I basically owned him. He was a reliever from Japan, and I knew he wasn't going to throw a first pitch strike, but and that's why I kind of raised up. But I knew he was going to come inside, and the ball grazed me, and so when the ump was like, "You have to go to first," I say, "No, I don't want to go to first." I was like, I got a chance to hit 4 home runs. I want to hit today. I say, give him whatever. You want to give him a ball? You want to give him a strike? I say, I want to hit. I was like, I own this guy. And I think it was Todd Walback was the catcher.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, you know what? If you don't understand it, you go out there and tell him. I said, Tim, throw it over the plate. Let's go. Right.
That's Albert, man.
Those bad uniforms.
Albert was not a player that I really admire you because the people don't understand. This guy was a hard worker. This guy come to the ballpark every day to produce. I want a guy like him with me to go to a war no matter what. This guy, when he go 0 for 4 or 0 for 8, he's finished the game. He's in the cage. You know how many times we have to wait in the bus, dressing with a suit, with a tie, in Texas, in July, when it's hot. And this guy make us wait in the bus for him in a getaway day. He's in the cage with Frank Mancini, the killer. With Frank Mancini, he's in the cage over there. And I said, when he comes, I'm the only one that can talk bad to him. I'm the only one. I said, Albert, what you doing? We just finished the game. We spent 10 days in a road trip. Let's go. Yeah. Don't do this anymore. And he started laughing to us. I said, you know what? I'll be ready tomorrow. I'll be ready tomorrow. I love you, man. I love the way you play, your passion. I would like to have you, players like you. We need a player like that on our team. Especially when we go to the playoff. This is a big boy step right here when we get there. Our team did a great job, but you know what? I have to say to you, so the people know about it. In those 10 years that you play, you average was 37 homers, over 120 RBIs. 9 years in a row, you are 1 of 10 with over 100 RBIs. This guy hit 300 in 10 years, 7 times. This guy was a special player. He's a Hall of Famer, and he's going to be a Hall of Famer. And I'm going to say something to you that I haven't said. You know the Adelson, the guy that used to be in charge of the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
He said to me that you just missed to get to the Hall of Fame 4 years ago when Harold reigns by 1 point. And I believe that you're going to be there. You're going to be there. I know you're going to represent us. And I want to say something in front of everybody. Cleveland love you. The fans love you. We love you, man, because every time that you put that uniform on, you give everything you have. You know how many times this guy come to the ballpark and he see the lineup. He wasn't in there. He grab it, break it, he go to the office to talk to my hero. I'm playing today. That's the kind of player that I want. I want those kind of players. Thank you, Albert, to be with us today. It was a special time to have you here, man.
Anytime, man. It was good to see you guys. You know what? Thanks for the accolades, but the thing that I love about baseball, it was a great team sport, and we came together, and I'm just so happy that we gave the fans some special moments. Like the one gentleman said when he was 9 or 10, when he was at the ballpark, and now he's, he still remember those days, and that's the thing that I love when I come back to Cleveland. I do pop in every now and then, and the fans are they love the 90s, all the memories we brought to, whether it was their grandparents, their parents, them, or their kids, like all these generations. And so hopefully the Guardians can continue to do some big and exciting things, but they're just going to have to figure out a way to become some pretty good hitters, because they have a great pitching staff. It's just they finished up last in the league hitting 225. So they're going to have to make some big adjustments. So the ball's in their court.
Albert, just remember one thing.
Yes.
The teams you guys were on, as somebody that grew up in Northeast Ohio,
Yeah.
there's kids now that grow up here that don't know that Cleveland Indians used to suck.
No.
And you guys changed that.
Yeah.
You look from the mid-'90s on till today.
I'm doing this because of that team.
I mean, seriously, you guys changed the outlook that kids grew up in Northeast Ohio on baseball. They have no idea. There were no pennant races before you guys. There was nothing.
They don't remember what Major League was based on.
I'm going to say something to the fans to finish it up. 1995. It's going to be going 10 more years. We already have 3 Hall of Famers. In that lineup, we're going to have Albert Belle, number 4, Kenny Lofton, number 5, Omar Vizquel, number 6, and Manny Ramirez, number 7. 7 on a lineup. That's no lineup in the history of the game. They're going to have 7 star players in a lineup to be in the Hall of Fame. And you guys, fans in Cleveland, have it here in 1995. What an honor to have you, Albert. God bless you. All the best.
All right.
Thank you very much, my
Take care, brother.
Take care, my friend. Guys, stay with us. We're going to talk about, what the Cleveland Guardians need to do to get better for next year.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Lake Spur Marketing, connecting your brand to the right customers. Visit lakespurmarketing.com today.
Welcome back to the Carlos Baerga Show with me, Gav Gowdy. Cleveland Indians legend Carlos Baerga, always positive, Jay, and we have Andre Knott in the studio with us today. Now, before I stopped our little conversation earlier, before the interview, we were talking about how the Cleveland Guardians can upgrade this team going into the next season. So let's continue that.
Well, my first upgrade had to be sign Stephen Kwan. We need to sign Stephen Kwan. Andre, we cannot let this guy, you know how many teams asked for him? I heard 15.
And the best teams wanted them.
The best team. Dodgers,
Yankees, Mets, San Diego.
Yankees, Philadelphia. Very hard.
Yes.
Philadelphia. So you're talking about, if we don't sign him, one of those teams, they're going to sign him. When you have a player like him, they know how to play defense. He's a gold glove.
Yes.
We lead the league in
defensive. Yes.
So, a little guy that I know he got tired a little bit this year in the last part, but you know what? He's a special player. And I have to say, let me, if the Dodgers ask for him, you know how I ask? If they cannot sign Stephen Kwan, that I hope that we sign him, we keep him here.
Yeah.
I asked the Dodgers for a player. You're talking about trade. You know who?
Who'd you want?
Andy Pages.
Pages. Yeah, Pages is
Andy Pages.
He's great. I love
Andy Pages, a right-hander hitter.
Play all the outfield positions.
He can play
arm.
all 3 positions.
Yes.
And you know what? Maybe the Dodgers do it because they like to have the best.
Yes.
So they like to have the best. They have to give you somebody that maybe is not that quality, but this guy can help us out.
100%. He's one of our favorite. Ask Rick Manning. That's one of Rick Manning's favorite. That was our favorite player this year we watched.
What?
We loved Andy Pages. When we saw him, we were like, that dude is legit.
If we bring that guy here, we already have the guy. And then you have Ramirez, Andy Pages, and you got Mansaldo behind him. It will be awesome.
Yes, I like that. That's it. And when the Dodgers came here, and this is just one of those things to pay attention to when you come to games. Remember they called up a catcher, Dalton Rushing. He was like one of their top prospects.
Yes.
Then they sent him down after that trip with us.
Uh-huh. Oh, they want to show it. They want to show it. So
remember little things like that as the season goes
tell
on.
me, PJ, what you like?
What about an interesting guy here? And he's stuck in a team that just got horrible culture. And I think if you changed where he is and put him like a team like ours where you're led by Jose Ramirez, he might turn it around. Is Luis Roberts Jr.?
Nah.
You don't think so? You would never trade him?
I'll talk to you off there.
It
fits what we want, but there's
because you could like you know more about behind the scenes stuff than I clearly do.
And I can say to you how these guys been in the mouth of everybody in the last 2 years,
and nobody
made the trade. Something's
wrong. Up then.
And our organization is an organization that you have to be a straight.
So that's why I was wondering: is he someone you could buy low and just take the?
It'd be
low
great,
risk
but I doubt it. Here's mine. Mine.
Right.
This is the real one I want. You guys,
when I see you with the phone,
so my dreams of Kyle Schwarber's not real.
Because I've been sitting on this for a minute, so I'll let it loose here.
Pete Alonso?
These are my guys there. Pete Alonso, Kyle Schwarber. I'm the unrealistic one.
He's 6'3", 225 pounds. Can play first base. Can play a little outfield. From the Athletics, Brent Rooker. If you could get Brent Rooker in a trade, and I only bring that up now because they have a first baseman.
Yeah.
They have Sundstrom who plays out in the outfield. Soderstrom, rather.
Awesome.
They already have they have all these young players. If you went to the Athletics in the right way, and with the right stuff, and asked for Brent Rooker, I think Brent Rooker changes our lineup.
Oh my
exponentially.
God, it would be unbelievable. But I don't think they're going to trade him because he's a key guy,
no doubt,
face for the team going to Las Vegas.
But they have a new.
I know they already signed him.
But yes, they did. But you're right. But all I'm going off of, they didn't have the 5th pick in the draft last year before they made him the face. Now their new face, let's be honest, is Nick Kurtz. That's all I'm saying, Carlos.
Don't talk to me about Nick Kurtz.
I know.
I'm going to start crying here. I'm going to start crying.
Don't cry. Brent Rooker, though. I'll whisper Brent Rooker.
How about
I've
you,
been
Gab?
saying
What's
that
your
he should be
dream
a Guardian
scenario?
for years, so.
Who do you want,
Might as
Gab?
well just
Who you
join
want,
in with that.
Gabby?
Yeah, I've been saying Brent Rooker should be a
really?
Guardian before they even gave him the
Okay.
extension.
I didn't even.
Wow.
I'm in the same boat as you.
Great minds think
Think about
alike.
what he would do for this lineup.
Yeah, it would be.
Well, then they gave him $60 million, so are we going to pay him?
Well, but that makes the easy part because we could take that on and we wouldn't have to never because they would already know what they have to pay. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like rather than negotiating, it's like you already know what you have for so many years.
Yes.
That fits more into the structure that they use than having to go out and negotiate a big deal.
It's true. And to bring somebody with that caliber, that 30 homers, 100 RBIs,
Right.
you need to pay a little bit, or maybe trade some couple of the guys in there, and bring somebody that
They could use some pitching.
Well,
We could throw them a starter.
They
it's
could.
true. It's true.
Fire up
Their
that
pitching
3D
is
printer.
so
We need a
bad.
new picture to send over there. But
Yeah, I mean, they could use a pitcher of somebody as their new guy to go to Vegas.
I got a question for you guys. So that means Hedges, you keep him or you let him go? I keep Hedges.
I would offer him a coaching job, honestly.
It's hard to
If you don't wanna-
But the thing is, we don't have nobody that have that fire in the clubhouse. The only person, and I'm going to say something here, that I bring here, and Albert Belle said, you listen to him when he talk, I bring Naylor back again.
Hell yeah.
He's my man. He's a crazy guy that, you know what, Edgar Martinez talked to me about, they want to sign him back again. They love Naylor. They say he's a leader. This guy get everybody in the clubhouse and they're crazy before they go to the. That's what he said to me. I say, you sure about that? Yeah.
I mean, when you watch-
and I know it. And I know it before.
I
He
will
said
never
that.
say that. I can't.
Yeah.
He's not perfect as a human being.
Yeah.
But he's a perfect leader because he's just crazy enough
Yes.
that you follow him.
I mean,
What happened yesterday? He had a baby. Yesterday,
He won't even tell
and he went back.
Here's the best part of my life. I
Yeah,
had people
yeah.
from Seattle texting me like, "Was he this hard to talk to about stuff?" And I wanted to be like, I told you guys when he got traded, he ain't gonna tell you guys anything.
No.
But that's the thing that full circle. I think the Guardians had to trade him to let Bo grow.
Yes.
Bo, I think, needed to get that shadow away.
Yes.
But there is something about Josh that is incredible in a clubhouse.
Awesome.
Because he loves on you. He's like, to me, he reminds me like of like a little bit like Albert, but like a parent
Yes.
who's a little bat bleep crazy,
Yes.
who scares you, but
Yeah.
yeah, you know he loves you.
You need that.
Yeah, right. Like you know that he'll call you out when you do something wrong, but you can call him out, and you may yell and scream at each other.
Yes.
But he's still gonna have your back, but quicker than anybody else.
And he play hurt.
Oh,
he
yeah.
play hurt. He want to be in there. So I love those kind of players like that.
I mean,
So-
if he's getting me pumped watching on my television, I can't imagine what he's doing for people's dugouts. Because when he gets back and he's throwing things and he's just going nuts, I'm like, let's go. I'm like ready to go to bed. And I'm sitting on my couch.
His
So-
talking bleep level is like Michael Jordan level. I can never like the things he says,
yeah.
and like to everybody.
And he don't like microphones. He don't like trophies. He don't like
no.
anything. He just
See,
loves
that's
to play the
crazy
game.
though, because I've had an interaction with him, he's always been really nice and happy to talk.
Sweetest guy in the world.
Yeah, it is.
He is
Yeah.
my daughter's.
I was
Like,
gonna
I'm
really
gonna tell you
nice.
guys, he is my daughter's favorite player. My daughter wears his number and
You know
42,
what?
and like they talk about their hair together, and then he'll look at me and grumble, and I'm like,
Hey, you look at what happened to me. Look at what happened to me. I met his wife last
and
year.
she's the sweetest in the world
I
too.
see the sweetest, and I say, you the wife of the Josh?
She brings the
We're like,
balance to the
what?
relationship.
Wow,
though.
I
She's
can't
awesome.
imagine that.
I mean, like there are times where I think he wants to fight me.
Yeah.
And then like the last game in Seattle, then the last game that they played here,
Yeah.
he was behind the plate waiting for his family, and I was just like, I don't even know if I'm gonna talk to him.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, wait, what's up? And he goes, where's my girl Bella at? Talk about my daughter.
Oh.
Wow,
Like,
that was
so
nice.
then we just start talking, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, this dude, like, there is something about him, and you're right. You need, and Austin Hedges is crazy in his own way too. Okay. But you need a little crazy in baseball. Baseball will drive you crazy. People don't get playing every day, being there every day. You're mentally like we can all. I this year I picked up on this because I didn't have to do every game. Man, it was awesome when I was at home and I'd watch the first 3 innings, go eat dinner, and then check in and check out. Yeah. But when you guys know, when you got to do every game mentally, you can't take time off. No. You can't. And it will drive you a little bit insane.
I mean, just what I was just talking about when we watched playoffs. Every pitch, I'm dying and living by every single pitch. But that's for them every single game. 165
And here's the crazy thing. And you just heard from Albert Belle, and you know from him. Yeah. These dudes remember every pitch. Everything. It blows me away where I'll hear a guy go, hey, last time, Jose does it all the time. That's how Rocchio hit the home run in the playoffs.
You brought it up on the
Yeah, because I sit there and I hear it, and Jose goes, he's going to get 2 strikes on you. He's going to throw a fastball in. And I watched him on the iPad do it, and then he gets the 2 strikes, and he goes in and he gets it out of the ballpark, and he just goes, bleeping told you. Walked away.
Now, guys, I have a question for you about Jose Ramirez. It seems like it's a pretty important one given what's been said on the internet over the last couple of days, but we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I'm going to ask you guys that.
Okay.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Garage Beer. No bitterness, no frills, no IPA, just beer-flavored beer. Find local retailers who sell garage beer near you by visiting drinkgaragebeer.com.
Welcome back to the Carlos Baerga Show with me, Gab Gowdy. Cleveland Indians legend Carlos Baerga. Always positive, Jay, and we have Andre Knott in the studio with us. Now, before we left, I told you guys that I have a question about Jose Ramirez. I don't know if you guys are online like I am, but I've seen this video circulating around. Jose Ramirez talking about the front office saying that they're going to spend money, but they're not spending the money. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Have you seen the video?
I have to say this happened before the season started,
right, March.
In Dominican over there. And he just letting everybody know that, he want to stay here. He wanted, and I've been saying it, that, the Guardians need to sign him a multi-year contract. And I think, and I believe, I know that we make it to the playoff, but I think we need to be somebody to help him out, in there. And that's why he wanted to let everybody know. He don't want to go nowhere. He want to stay here.
Yeah, I agree with Carlos, even though I didn't understand it as well as Carlos did because I don't know Spanish as well. But it was all.
That's why I sent it to him. I was like, Carlos, I need you to translate this for me.
I sent it to my translator, too. I think the main thing is he does deserve to get paid, and he does deserve to have people around him. And I think it's okay to be honest.
Yes.
We ask athletes all the time, and the honest side is he wants to stay here. He doesn't want to go anywhere else. But at the same time, he's no idiot. He wants his money. But the one thing I'll say about Jose, and you know this, Jose has told me, I am richer than I ever thought I would be. Yes. I've got all the money in the world. Just want to be respected, and I just want to win a World Series in Cleveland. Yes. That's what I take from it because I know that from him.
I've said from the second that dude signed that contract, and I didn't even know any of this, I was like, he pretty much did what if you have an all-star rookie quarterback on an NFL team, he gave you the ability to go and sign someone when you normally can't, and you should be all in every year of his contract. Yes. I will believe that. And not to mention, I don't know if they should be going all in right now. They're ready to, I think, contend. But we got this team on the other team down the lake, and they're going to be moving out of downtown soon. The prices are going to go skyrocketing up. If you want to get that 95, 96 crowds back all the time, this baseball team can capitalize, I believe, on that situation.
And the first thing you have to do is to sign Jose Ramirez, keep it here. It's going to make everybody happy. Yeah. And I know all the players, they're going to be happy too because we have the leader. We have the guy when he retired. He gonna have the record of every staff in our organization, and he's a special player, and he play hard. No matter if we are 15 games back or we are in the first place. So that's what I love about Jose Ramirez. In that, guys, do we need it? I know our pitching staff pitch great. Messick, I think he's gonna be a great pitcher. I love that. I don't think we need another pitcher in that.
Reliever, maybe. I'll take another reliever.
Maybe reliever. We don't know what's going to happen with Clase and Luis Ortiz. We don't know that. They talk about it yesterday.
They talked about it, but they don't know anything more. I think we're all at the point of
I think we already know what the outcome's going to be.
Right. Yeah. I think we'd be surprised if you ever see him again in American pitching.
I don't know. Maybe a reliever. Maybe a reliever to help our pitching staff. I don't think so. But I have a question for you guys. Travis Bassana. You guys think he can make it to the big leagues?
He made it to AAA by this time, and without injuries, he probably would have been in the big league. So I'll go short because I know we're short. I would say absolutely you're going to see him sooner than later.
If he's healthy, he's up here.
Yeah.
No, I would like to see him before June, at least.
Is June a certain time? Never mind.
Well, Dre, I didn't get to last time, I want you to plug your family event, your family organization.
Coming up next month on November 13th, Carlos, Gabby,
Yes.
you guys are all invited as well. The annual Celebrity Bartending for Rec to Connect is coming up. It's at Collision Bin Brewery from 6:30. All the money goes to, and all the proceeds go to helping families with people with special needs and using in recreation. It's a celebrity bartending event. We love to have anybody and everybody come. It's a fun event, but it's for a very good cause. So
I've been to the last 3, and it's seriously so fun. And if you're into this kind of business, it's a great networking spot too, because you will meet a lot of people in the business.
Please, everybody, show up in there. I want to say thanks to everybody that watched us since 2 weeks before the season start through today. Today is our last show, and it was an honor to work with Gabby, to work with PJ and special guys like Andre,
Jimenez,
and everybody that
Hall of Famer Jim Tomey.
Yeah, oh my God! If you haven't seen it, go to our page in Instagram and YouTube, Carlos Baerga Show, and you're gonna see everybody that we have there. I don't think that's a show. They have at least 6 Hall of Famers in a show like that. It was a special. Ryan, our producer, what a job, man! Every day you was there for us. Everybody to Big Play Network. Keep it on, man, because we have football, we have basketball, we have everybody here, to put a great show for you guys. Thank you, Gabby.
Yeah, we've had a great season. It didn't end the way we wanted it to, but it did surprise me along the way. But I had fun hanging out with you guys. APJ, you got a closing statement for us?
I did. This was a dream come true to me. I'm glad I got to promote baseball in a city that needs more shows just about baseball.
Yes.
It's when I brought it to Dave, I was like, we got to do something. And he's like, you're right. And it's just been a dream come true. I can't believe the responses we get from the fans. I absolutely love this whole thing.
Let's go, Guardians.
Thanks,